Hey traders, Michael or Mini Frost here. I just wanted to make a quick video for Friday today about today's activity because I think it's pretty damn interesting. For all of this week, we've been talking about one number and one number only, and that is the long-term pivot at 643.45, highlighted in green. We've been talking about it all week. As you can see, it's been pretty important. Last Friday, the low of day was at the pivot. We ate some time off the clock around that area. The following week, the day after Labor Day, Tuesday, if we take a quick look at the extended hours, we can see that we came right up to the pivot and was immediately rejected. Wednesday, she poked her head above the pivot and then came back down, but look at where she finished, right on top of the pivot, a little bit above. And then yesterday we had one of those floater days, but it just so happens that the low of day, the first candle, the low was 643.51 against our pivot at 643.45. And then how about today? We had a nice little fake out operation going, poking our heads above all-time highs, making traders think we're going to keep on going, possibly a floater day, but she shook out some traders, issuing a pie in the face, and then came right back down. Where to? The pivot. The low right here is 643.33. Spiked it by 2 cents. So every single day this week, we've seen that the pivot was important. Staying above the pivot is the bull case scenario. Starting to close candles below it, she's in a more bearish position, and we could potentially expect another leg down. Not to mention, we have a tinfoil hat event coming up on Sunday, and for those of you who don't know, the markets either like to trade up or down coming into these events. This event in particular is the second blood moon of the year. That's also the start to the total lunar eclipse. You could believe it if you want, but when we experience these tinfoil hat events, not every time, but many times, the market will turn coming up into these events. Could be before the event, could be the day of the event, after, doesn't have to necessarily be the minute after, the hour after, or the day after, but we'll deem it as we're looking for a turn. And this could be the start to the turn, contingent on how we close relevant towards the longer term pivot, 643.45. If we start to close below the pivot, the first destination is going to be the unfinished business we were talking about earlier this week. That's the gap right here at 640.27. We came up short the following day. The low right here is 640.46, declaring it as unfinished business. But that's also not to mention that this constitutes as a first time, best time situation. What is the first time, best time situation for those who don't know? Well, let's say right at this gap right here, we were looking for a long position. So the market's coming down, comes up a few cents short, and then rips it right back in the other direction. So therefore, the first time around is the best time. Now, since we came up short of the number as we were trying to take a trade at the gap, the second time around, we come into that number, she's more likely than not to spike it. It takes the luster off the trade. First time, best time situation. Real quick, we're coming to the close of the Lazy Swing Trader Labor Day special. This deal ends tomorrow at 11:59. If you've been interested in swing trading for a while now, this is your chance to make it happen. We had a 100% win rate in August, and we're already off to a great start in September. If you're curious to see how it works, we send the alerts straight to you. We sent you the entry levels, we send you the profit targets, we even send you the stop loss so you always know your risk. You could see some of our recent swing trades. We obviously have a ton of them. You can see what other people are saying. Most people are making their money back within the first few trades. And then not to mention, here's a list of all of our swing trades. And as you can see, it's a shit ton of green. So that's the Labor Day special that's going on. You need to take advantage of this while it's still here. This is going to be the last Lazy Swing Trader deal we have for a while. So you better get on your horses. Going back to the daily chart, if we were to close candles below the longer term pivot and head down to complete the unfinished business, who's not to say she can't spike it down towards the 50 period moving average? The 50 period moving average also happens to fall in line with another important number. That number I put in black, that comes in at 632.08, coinciding with the 50 period moving average. As you can see, we came up short the first time around. That also constitutes as a first time, best time situation. But nevertheless, this is an important number. And I put it in black because same thing regarding the longer term pivot right here is that if we start to close candles below, that opens the door for some trouble down below. Notice how much room there is between the 50 and the 100 period moving average on a daily time frame. There's a lot of room. And not to mention there's also some unfinished business down here as well. And just taking a look at a different perspective, going to the weekly time frame, look at this. We are very extended from home base. So closing candles below the black line, she might want to make her way for a visit of the 20 period moving average, that being home base. Markets don't like to be too extended from home base. So you might want to jot these numbers down and put them on a sticky note. These are very, very important numbers. I've already proven to you that this longer term pivot at 643.45 is uber important. No question about it. So I just wanted to go over a little bit of my thoughts and what I've been seeing throughout today's activity and what to possibly expect as we move forward. With that said, I hope every single one of you has a great weekend. You guys all deserve it. Stay safe and take care now, folks.